And I think Jerry Lawler starts talking here, and the Bray Wyatt kind of video package kind of cuts in and interrupts. So we get that, and then we cut to R-Truth versus Bray Wyatt. And yeah, apparently it had been a month since R-Truth last competed, but nothing really much has changed, has it, Ashton?
No, he pretty much got dominated here.
Yeah, he got dominated big time. He got a little bit of offense with his spinning corkscrew elbow. I think he calls that the lie detector.
Yeah, that was his finisher at one point.
It was his finisher at one point, but not tonight, because Bray Wyatt gets back up, catches Truth in an Uranagi, and then he hits Sister Abigail, and he gets the win. And I don't really, it's funny, because he cuts a promo, right, and he talks about, he fills the ring, first of all. I should mention that. He puts chairs in there, he brings a table in there, and he sets up a ladder in there. But he does that all off screen because I think we have a commercial at this point. When we come back,
dude, there were so many commercials tonight, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I almost would have wanted to make it a heat of the night, but we try and keep it on WWE and not necessarily USA Network because I hated the number of commercials that were on this show tonight. That was my biggest attraction. And yeah, he's surrounded by all of these objects. And he's cutting this promo, pretty much relates the ladder to Jacob's ladder. And he says, this too is his ladder because, this is where he climbs up and he ascends and he gazes down at the rest of the world. All the men like Dean Ambrose, and, says in his dreams he's surrounded by tables, ladders, and chairs. And the thing is, Ashton, it's weird for me because I do hear Bray getting booed, which is a great thing. But at the same time, and maybe it was just me, I'm beginning to sense a slight indifference to Bray Wyatt's promos. Is it just me, or are you sensing it too? Because I didn't really think that the crowd was too invested in what he had to say here, either positively in the babyface sense or negatively in the heel sense. I'm just
Let me ask you something, John.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
You know what it is, The Butterfly Effect.
Okay, and if you had to watch The Butterfly Effect 3 times a week for 2 years straight, do you think you would still get that into it?
No.
That's what's happening to Bray Wyatt.
But can we really fault Bray, though?
I think that it would be nice if he would change up his style a little bit and didn't cut the exact same promo every single week.
See, and that's the thing, because I think what you mean by same promo is probably the delivery, right?
Well, really, every single promo of his can be boiled down to, I can help you, let me help you, join my family.
Right. Yeah. That's why, I'm not really liking where Bray Wyatt's headed, and I had a heat of the night for this segment.
Yeah.
Just to kind of bring it full circle before we resume the discussion, because I don't want to stray too far away. Ambrose does come out and they brawl for a little bit. There was one point where Ambrose tried setting Bray up on the announce table, and he climbs the ladder. So I'm thinking we're getting ready for this ridiculous elbow drop or something off the ladder through the announce table. But Bray escapes. So then Ambrose descends the ladder, gets on the announce table, and then he charges at Bray. Pretty much sends Bray, crawling up the ramp. Ambrose gets back in the ring, and of course this is where he breaks the rocking chair, hits a steel chair against it, and Bray just looks so emotional, like, wow, I can't believe you did that to me. And of course I had a gripe about that. But now to get back on the discussion, I'm not really liking where Bray is headed. I was jazzed up with the vignettes and everything, and he was going to come back and it was a clean slate. I mean, first the program with Ambrose, we talked that to death. I'm not even really going to touch that. But then him showing emotion tonight, and then the indifference being shown for the promos, to your legitimate point about them seemingly repetitive in terms of their delivery and their form. I still think he's one of the hottest prospects in the company. I'm not going to backpedal from that. But I am growing concerned. And I hope that he's not going to just quickly lose momentum to the point where nobody cares about Bray Wyatt, and he's just kind of there. He goes from an actual attraction to a placeholder. I don't want to see that happen to him.
Yeah. And I hate to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but I do think that that's kind of where he's headed. Although I think he's talented enough to, if the WWE machine gets behind him even a little bit, dig himself out of that rut. But I do feel like that's the direction he's headed for now.
See, and that's why, despite, the Punk interview that's come out, and I know the really dominant sentiments among most fans that I think you and I encounter, that WWE is this or that. The one thing I've always had faith in them in is that the moment they start to care about somebody, they can turn it around like that. And I believe they have the power to do that, because I think all you need is that one good program or that one good whatever to turn it around. Shake things up with Bray a bit. You know what? In fact, my heat of the night could actually become really a gift in disguise, because now let's have Bray forego the narrative of trying to save Dean Ambrose. Let's say that Dean Ambrose has crossed a line where in Bray's mind he's no longer worth saving. Let's have Bray want to rip Dean apart, and let's have the promos become a bit darker, a bit more violent in that regard.
I think that with the breaking of the chair, they might actually go in that direction.
And you know what? If they do, I will say this publicly right now. If they go in that direction, given your concerns, and it seems like the mainstream audience's concerns with Bray's character, I would retract my nitpick, and I would say, you know what? It was for the best. If that's what it took to do this, then I'm all for it, because you know what? I would like to see him say, you know what, Dean? I wanted to help you. That's all I wanted to do. But you showed with your actions on Monday, and, you know, it would say in a flowery and poetic way like only Bray does. I'm only using common language here. You've proven yourself to be beyond help, to be beyond saving. I could really dig that. And you know what? If it gets to that intensity, because see, here's the thing. We can be jazzed all we want that Bray versus Dean could be the main event of TLC, but the real question we need to be asking ourselves honestly, and I say that to both you and I, because you know I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt and I know Dean's your boy, but is, do they deserve that spot? And right now, if I was to be asked honestly, I'd say no, they don't deserve to be the main event, because I just don't feel it from their program. If they really notch up the intensity and they have Bray go that route, hell yeah, they deserve that main event spot. So.
Yeah.
And,
all right, are you ready to move on?
Absolutely. Let's move on. We've got the Bella Twins versus AJ Lee, and Naomi does win the poll. So happy she beat out Natalya.
Yeah, she deserved it.
Absolutely. And you know what? Because the match pretty much was, right? I mean, the Bellas are in control for a little bit. AJ gets a hot tag. It seems like at one point she's going to lose control. Naomi comes back in, though, gets a drop kick. AJ hits a Shining Wizard on Nikki and then the Black Widow, and they get the win. And the reason I'm going over that so quickly is that nothing really noteworthy happened there, but something amazing happened in this match. And CM Punk chants started.
Oh, yeah!
But finally, I think for the first time, somebody took back control when they were starting, and they did AJ chants.
Not AJ, full-on AJ Lee.
Yeah, full-on AJ Lee chants. And you know what? I'm going to say it right now. I'm not even going to make any bones about it. This crowd, or that section of the crowd anyway, is my honorary high spot tonight.
Yes, I know, yeah. See, like, that's the thing. Like, people were complaining that the crowd sucks. To me, this crowd was perfect in the sense that they gave you a great idea of what the casual WWE fan thinks about the product. Whatever they were really hot for, that's the stuff that Vince needs to look at and be like, okay, this is what's working. Let's do more of this. Because this crowd was relatively quiet for a lot of this show, but when they got a reaction, they reacted pretty big. They booed the crap out of Fandango. They cheered the crap out of Eric Rowan. They knew what they wanted, and they knew how to react to when they got what they wanted, and how to really boo when they didn't. Or you know what I mean? So you can crap on the crowd for not being super hot all night, but when they were hot, it told you a lot. It was a very telling crowd.
Definitely. I think it was a great insight, as you said, into casual viewership. And more importantly, and what I loved about this, they gave a crap about the product.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what else? I didn't even mention this in the beginning, and I should have, because if this wasn't enough for them to get the honorary, high spot for tonight, the opening segment, when Seth Rollins is trying to tear Cena down by mentioning that he does stupid things with "You Can't See Me" and his shirts are stupid, and then at one point Seth says, and you're such a great guy that you've gotten half this crowd to say that you suck. They didn't go into "Let's go Cena sucks" chants. They just booed Seth Rollins. Just straight up booed him and gave him heat.
Yep.
And I have to apply. They didn't fall into the typical behavior of most crowds they went their own way.
And you know what's hilarious, dude? At one point when they were doing the "Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks" chant, I don't know, because I didn't actually see this. I saw somebody say it on Reddit. Apparently there was a kid in the crowd that was doing both parts of the chant. Like, there was a kid in the crowd that was saying both, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." Like, it was all one chant, and the kid was doing all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why I felt like I had to bring it up, because that's just like, I'd never even thought that was a thing before.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really why I was excited to talk about this match, was for the crowd alone, because they were wonderful. So Tulsa, Oklahoma, you have my thanks.
Yeah.